So I'm just gonna have music playing instead.
Okay. Well, I guess we can ask the stream chat. Are you guys ready for the rubber match?
Are we hyped?
Oh, they are. They have moved.
I've moved them, rather. Okay, well, whenever they're ready to start, we're going to be starting as well. Timers are working order.
Don't mess them up.
Yeah, this is Leno's third match in a row, mind you. He's only had a couple of minutes in between them.
The way we had this was the winner of loser semis was going to have 4 matches in a row, but you can imagine how that would work. Done yet?
Okay, we got a little lid between them this time. That's nice, actually. Okay, we're gonna be starting here in a couple seconds. A bit more.
Although this it is.
Not we're done yet.
Done yet?
Okay, we got a little lid between them this time. That's nice, actually. So, looking at these first menus here, let's gouge and critique their execution.
Can you do that?
Dang, Leno's flying.
Yeah, Leno's looking pretty good. That's
Running out of the
35.
gate.
Wow, it's pretty good.
Copy? I think optimal is 32.
I think like the sub 30 is possible, but you need to go faster than is like safe, let's say, or what's comfortable in menus. So at that point you're gonna mess up the equipment glitch a lot, so it's not worth it to go that fast.
Yeah, I never time it off talking to the guard. I always time it off the screen transition leaving the castle. The fastest I've ever seen was one minute flat. So I call that optimal because I've never seen it done faster. 103 is a really good time on that side. And 108 is not too shabby from Crrool's.
Oh no, the timers. It was working.
Yeah, he's...
Cool, with a great start on the 5 goblin ambush. That's a wonderful start. Hopefully not an omen of what's gonna come. But you never know.
Yeah, we're just waiting the SRL time to sync up the 2 minutes. Start the timers. They're back up now. That was a pretty decent judgment staff menu on Lenophis' side.
I'm back.
Welcome back. As you can see, the timers are up and running.
It was almost looking like he had a slower judgment staff.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Not in comparison, but just in general.
the transition between console to emulators probably messing with his timing.
Very bad luck in this entire
Yeah, he's fed up with it. He just...
It's just like Judgment Staff. Get it away from me.
Yet another example of just how RNG this game is. Got the great lead and then one encounter.
And for anyone that's curious, there's a really good video tutorial guide that Chrono made specifically for this tournament that shows off how to do the equipment glitch step by step and explains how the mechanics of it work for anyone who's curious into the mechanics as well.
Yeah, I'll go nab it off of YouTube real fast. Here we go. I have posted it in the chat. If you want to open that up and watch it, it's not hard. You just have to have the PSP version of this game.
It honestly doesn't take very long to learn. I think I learned how to do the equipment glitch in 5 minutes or less. Pretty simple.
How many times have they built this bridge? Like, you'd think that it would just stay intact at one point.
Yes, but because of the time paradox in the game, they have to continue rebuilding it every 2,000 years.
That's a good point, but we unloop it. Oh, but they don't... That's right, but no one remembers that it happened because it was in the past, and...
Why do you think we've beaten this game? How many times we have beaten this game on stream? Like 10 times total. Once we're done. Like we have
That
to be
awkward
looping all the
moment when
time.
the time loop actually makes sense for speedruns. So how does regaining control after the bridge scene work? Like, is it just a set amount of time before it detects an input, or does it, like, ignore inputs until you reset it, or reset the input, or...
What exactly?
I think it's once the script transition is finished, then the inputs register. I always like have the input pre-pressed down, and then as soon as I move, then I start switching my inputs.
Yeah, I didn't know if it
So
was
it's
like it
frame-
ignored inputs and then at a certain point it would start looking for them again, but...
I'm not sure exactly how it works, but I know it's like on a set amount of time.
These guys are pretty much neck and neck.
Len was having some bad luck with the wolves.
That's happened twice now.
Bloody wolves.
The timer should be accurate. We synced it up with the Speedruns Live race timer. It should be pretty accurate.
And given their luck, I'm not surprised at the near 7-minute pirates.
The exact time that they're in the race is recorded on Speedruns Live. So if there's any like if the race is too close to call because of the on-stream timers, we just default to that because that's accurate.
Seems like they're neck and neck again, though.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting to watch.
I recall that in the original version of this game, all of those pirates have 6 hit points each, and that's because when they were making the game and playtesting it, they found the fight was way too hard. So they just decided, like, screw it, we'll just give them each, like, 6 HP and call it a day.
Coincidentally, we do the same thing. In the speed run, we also do class change before going to the fire crystal because it's faster.
And in Leno's case, he does almost everything before Fire Crystal.
Hmm.
That's true.
Yeah, once the run reaches the halfway point, it's who knows who's ahead. Leno does the route differently.
Yeah, the only trigger for the class change is being able to get the rat's tail. So you can enter Citadel at any time. You just have to be able to get there. That requires the canoe.
Yeah.
That's the earliest you can get it.
Airship is
Oh,
usually
and you need the airship.
is
You
usually
need
gone
the airship
after
to land on the island.
after Merilith, and I guess a standard order. Because I think you're supposed to go to Merilith as soon as you have access to the canoe.
Yeah, they
the
give you the
game
canoe and say
intends-
go to the
The
volcano.
game intends you to go to the volcano first, but as far as the game is concerned, the only triggers you need to get the class change is you need at minimum the boat and the canal, or so you need the canoe to get at the minimum to get to the Citadel, and then you need the airship to land on the island. It's the only requirements that you have. Which is kind of interesting because you can get the rat's tail with just the canoe and then go get the airship if you so choose. But for us, because we grind on the evil eye, it's faster to go get the airship first.
Yeah, the reason why we're not having game audio is because Leno and Crrool wanted to talk to each other for this last race, so we let them do it. So we're just gonna have music in the background.
Crrool lost a little bit of time on the walk to Marsh Cave by the looks of it.
Yes, he did. Interesting that Leno went for the attack strats as opposed to just using flare.
This is still nicely tied, which is nice to see. Lena with this slight
Fast to
lead.
decide to rub someone the wrong way could be another story. Oh, yeah, that's true. There was also in I think it was in the first 3 Final Fantasy games actually. Whenever you killed an enemy, the attack wouldn't retarget. So you had to figure out how much HP the opponent or your enemies had and how much damage you've dealt to them. So you had to kind of play the math a little bit. And also the fact that anytime a move misses, it's called ineffective is so bad. Because that just makes it sound like like an enemy's immune to something outright, rather than, it... Oh, it does? I haven't played FF3. I'm doing 2 and 7 right now. Yeah, even then, that's still a 3-turn fight.
The Leno's just finishing the Astos fight as Crrool's getting to it. There was no death on Leno's side though, so that was a good fight on his end.
It looks like Crrool got a 2-rounder as well, rather than a 1-rounder.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Less than 58 HP, sure.
All I know about Final Fantasy III is that it has the job system. But I will eventually get around to doing it.
FF 3 was my first Final Fantasy. It's amazing. Like, man, just listen to the scene, brings back good memories.
Oh, it has a credits war about all I know about it.
You know too little, man. You know too little.
I'll learn the speedrun eventually, I think. There is actually a PSP version of FF3.
Yeah, the PSP version has it's a pretty interesting speedrun. Looking at about like 11-12 hours or so, you know? Pretty reasonable.
When I get around to it, would you guys recommend which version of FF3 would you recommend?
NES?
NES translation patch, probably.
NES is just like a
That's what I
much
was gonna
tighter
do.
version than the remake, and the remake adds lots of unnecessary fluff. Like, I only like the remake because it was like my first FF, so I don't know, I just like it. Like, the remake adds unnecessary difficulty. The FF3 remake is somehow harder than the NES version. Like, it's brutal.
So it's like FF4 DS.
Sorta, yeah. And I think for the first 6 games in the series, besides 1 and 2, I'd recommend the originals.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I kind of regret playing the original version of Final Fantasy II, but I'm too far into it to stop.
No, man. I don't think that game is very redeemable, but I'm sure there's good aspects to it. No, it has a good story. You know, I can see that.
FF2 I found is probably, out of all the ones I've played, FF2 is probably the most difficult to wrap my head around. Like, not so much the story, but the stat system is just completely bother. It's just so nonsense. Well, I mean, it makes perfect sense, but it's just so difficult to manage.
Right.
Like, the fact that you gain HP by losing HP, it's like...
I mean, I guess that makes sense, but like, I get the intention behind it kind of makes sense, but like a standard leveling system would have worked better. Yeah, this music
Makes
set
sense, but it's very usable.
is gonna go all the way to 14 if we have the time. Might have to skip Eyes on Me though.
As long as you don't skip Melodies of Life, we're all good.
I know, I considered playing Slam on the Big Bridge, but I don't think we're allowed to do that with copyright and stuff.
You can play Battle on the Brig Bridge, though, for sure.
Oh yeah, but it's not the same, man. It's not the same.
I remember that come time for the relay, because we'll probably... I think
Please.
last year for the full series relay we had to use... none of the runners could use game. We had to be... I basically had to be the DJ for this kind of thing.
You didn't use game audio for the entire relay? I didn't notice that.
No, just for 5. 5 was the only one where we didn't have runners that could do game.
Huh. Dude, Slam on the Big Bridge should just be a thing whenever you have a 5 run.
you like modify your FF5 ROM to like play that?
Yes, you could. Getting a high quality version of Space Jam to work on SNES would be very interesting. Because I mean, that's an interesting thing to work. You can actually have voice samples on the NES and the SNES. They just take up a ton of memory. But yeah, they do have support for voice samples.
Same as the Genesis / Mega Drive, you could do it with that as well.
But like the memory it would take up is insane. Like I saw this one Family Tracker version of One Winged Angel, and it took up 2 NES cards with the space for just one song. It's pretty insane. But back to the race, it's still like quite tight. Actually, it's very tight.
Doing the Mithril Hammer menu.
Going pretty fast as one of those menus.
He's doing quite good on the menus. Tiny little errors here and there.
Is it actually faster to walk outside of the castle, like to the southwest or whatever?
Oh yeah, because you skip like 10 tiles or even more.
Not only that, but there's also an NPC that can troll you really badly as well.
Yeah, I think I put that in my notes too, to leave the castle by walking it to the left.
That's what you meant? I thought you just meant, like, leave the castle, like, from the... never mind.
It looks like Crrool's curved quite a fair bit now.
Yep.
It's like Crrool entering the shop just as Leno leaves. That's pretty good.
One encounter gone wrong can put Leno behind.
But at the same time, you can also put him there. That's the magic. That's the
They could
magic
also
of
both
FF1.
get an encounter at the same time, and nothing will happen. Imagine that.
No encounters. So that mithril knife that that Leno gets, that is used in the equipment glitch in order to get the black robe, which allows him to cast Blizzara, which
Also allows
it's
Crrool
not
to
as
take
strong
the
as Flare,
lead.
obviously, but its animation is significantly faster and still generally does the same thing Flare does. It's not something that many runners do, as you probably saw. Crrool didn't get it. It's kind of a Leno thing.
There is absolutely no form of step nip or enchantment nip of any kind. It's theoretically doable for maybe a little bit of the game, but come on.
It's showing offline for me.
Offline? Hopefully his PC didn't crash again. I still see him in the race channel. And...
But he's not talking though.
PC hardlock percent?
He's in the Discords.
Still online, I think.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
No, it looks like his PC's crashed, I think.
Ay, ay. Indeed.
Yeah, there he goes.
Good thing he's on console.
Damn.
That may cost him a bit of time, but he can still play. It's on console. He won a race after doing that, so you know maybe it's a good sign. You know?
The good thing is that he's running on console and not on PC, on emulator. So, because if he was running emulator, then we'd have a serious.
Okay, he's back online now. So Stream should be back up any moment now.
Was that an internet derp?
I think that was his PC crashing. Either that or his internet crashing, something along those lines.
Yeah, there you go, Sigma. He's gonna do the Meteo.
Just Meteo every single person.
No, do the Meteo.
Back up in a second.
I can never take that scene seriously because Golbez calls them silly in that moment, and then you have stuff like received the vitality and received the energy, and I just can't. It's so funny.
FF4 has great translations.
If you think FF4 has good translations, you should see FF1 and NES.
It's not even translation, that's like space control.
Me chain?
My favorite line in all of FF4 is, "Oh my body,
My body.
oh my body."
It's the best FFZ.
It is.
My favorite line in FF1 is, "I'm a farmer."
I think as far as badly translated lines go, I think when I grow up I want to be a blitzball is still top tier. Because that's a game that's literally was made in 2004, in like 4, I think, came out.
I mean,
Like that's in comparison to like before games were not translated very often. That's like, you know, pretty recent.
I don't know. I think. Too bad I can't read Chinese. Otherwise, the bootleg Chinese FF4 would be pretty interesting. That's actually a thing. I'm not even kidding. I actually do know the existence of it. There's apparently a Chinese bootleg of FF4 separated over 3 cartridges.
3 cartridges.
It was
Yes.
on the NES, wasn't it? It wasn't even on Famicom. It was on Super Famicom. It was on Famicom.
Yeah.
The weird thing about it.
Now we've moved on to FF5. Yeah. But I mean, like, I think the translation to the PSP version is spot on. Like, they fixed all the translations there. It's no longer like the newest version, which was almost akin to Zero Wing. Good old Zero Wing.
Looks like Leno's catching up to Crrool here. Almost hitting the 3rd floor just as Crrool did.
Indeed, indeed.
Crrool should be happy now. He got his 1 in 64 Ochre Jelly encounter.
Yeah, despite his PC having set him up to bomb, managed to pull through and not lose too much time.
We managed to get Sigma.
So still very tight. In terms of pace, I don't think any of these runners are in spectacular pace, but as long as they're doing well against each other,
As long as they're alive, it's fine.
As long as the race is close, it's entertaining.
Indeed,
Looks
indeed.
like that's Crrool defeated Vampire now.
Runners like in the best of luck these Piscos, but
Then again, he wasn't having the best of luck last time either.
I thought he was gonna fail to run from race for a second. It's all up to the Black Mage to escape the petrification. He's just gonna staff and not take any risks.
I mean, Spoony Bar, to be fair, isn't a mistranslation at all. It's just a translation with a word nobody really uses anymore. Because FF1 was made back in the days where Shakespearean language was quite popular in RPGs, notably Dragon Warrior.
Lich is gonna take you down to the Hades.
I never got why Lich used Bizarre. And not any other
Because
magical
it's
attack.
the most powerful of the level 2 elemental spells.
Why not use Earth or something like that?
Use what?
Like an Earth spell.
But then you have Earthquake, which is instant KO spells.
That would just not be fair.
I mean, Blizzard is an instant KO, essentially.
Really? FF1? Not fair? Come on. Let's be real.
And so if you missed the beginning of the run, we did an equipment glitch that allows us to basically take one item, equip it on a second character that's not supposed to be allowed to equip it, and also equip it in the rank slot, which allows us to transform weapons into the corresponding armor, and armors into the corresponding weapon, which allows us to get overpowered armor for the beginning of the game, as well as the most powerful sword in the game about 30 minutes in. And so that's why we're hitting so hard and taking like 1 damage from random encounters. It's because we have the most powerful sword in the game. And like one thing we haven't mentioned yet is the fact that not only do we have access to very good armor, we also have access to it on more than one slot. So we equip armors into glove slots, armors as helmets. So you just imagine all 4 guys walking around with armor on their hands, and you get a good idea of what's going around.
The armor fit for a knight? I'll put it on my gloves.
I'll put it on my head.
I'm gonna protect myself with some cloth.
I'm gonna protect myself with a ring.
Hey, don't knock the magic ring.
At this point, they do have like armlets on their heads.
And across their bodies as well. Significantly constricting their airflow.
Which is why that's why they're having such a trouble running away, you know?
The barbarian sword is, what, 2 times stronger than the next most powerful weapon?
Yeah.
Some huge multiplier stronger than the second most powerful, and it gives plus 15 to your strength stat, which is used for physical damage.
Just adds to your damage even more at that point.
So it's obviously overpowered by design. It's supposed to be like the ultimate win for beating like the hardest form of Chronodia.
It's like the kind of item that you basically only get to use after like beating the hardest challenge in the game, so it's more of like for fun, seeing how much you can wreak chaos. How many turns does it take to beat chaos in all bosses?
That they put it in. And
Oh,
didn't
man.
think, actually, do we need
I
to
can
do
check
this?
for you.
Mass Mooning.
I think it's like 2 or 3
So hard in this
in
version.
all bosses because of the level you're at. Like if you're at a standard casual play level, but with access to the barbarian sword on ninjas, you do so much damage on chaos. You could probably come in a couple of hits. But we're like very under leveled because we can compensate with the equipment we're allowed to get. So it's a factor.
Actually, in the NES version, Mass Mooning is the most powerful weapon because the Excalibur's elemental weakness thing doesn't work.
This is why it's impossible to do run of the NES version glitchless. The
You
game
can
makes
make it a patch version of it or something.
Yeah,
I know it exists somewhere.
most likely. But I mean, it's hard to find a mechanic in the original version that actually works the way it's intended to work.
Lightning does lightning elemental damage.
Oh. You got me
They
there.
got that right.
I'm actually surprised.
But does it do the correct amount? Or does it, like, use the in-game time as your attack stat for some reason?
There's the intelligence bug.
Well,
You know,
yeah.
make red mage near overpowered and black mage useless, right?
Exactly. So Crrool got to Cavern Root before Lenophis, so now he's on B4 before him. But Lenophis can be there too, since he's already on B2, so he can catch up to B4, but Crrool's already gone there before him.
Yeah, if Crrool if Crrool messes up Lich again, he's gonna let Leno catch up, and last time that cost him the race, so
It looks like he's healing up, but his white mage hasn't got that much health. So
Indeed.
even now,
And even like Leno's looking pretty bad in health. Like I wouldn't even heal in this case. He's not.
no,
He's not surviving a
less when
Bazaar.
he's healing.
I don't think Lenophis is surviving a Bazaar with his health at the moment. And there goes the Bazaar. Everyone's dead. Yeah, Crrool's healing does nothing, man.
Oh, not again.
Yeah, I think his healing was a good move there, but sadly he just does not have the
Loaded
HP.
really quickly then as well. So I think I see a 2-kill again.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh no, he's doing it again.
Oh, 2-hit.
He got it.
Still, that death is not gonna be played in his favor at all.
I mean, Leno's still a bit behind, but you know, he was a bit behind. He was about this behind in the last race, and he caught it all up. So
But Crrool only died once this time.
yeah, but I'm saying Leno was this far behind, this close to Crrool. So it ain't over yet at all. That's for sure.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those games that you don't call the winner till it's over. Right, it's like a sporting event.
Don't count your chocobos till the
Till
eggs are
October,
hatched.
did you say?
What was that, Rory?
I thought you said till October then. I was like, jeez. Not waiting that long.
FF1 all categories %. You do like every category in every version. It would take you about a month.
That sounds like a 721 run.
No, I'm saying on every version, so you do all bosses on PS6 as well.
All bosses on PSX essentially means grinding for Warmech, though.
All bosses on GBA.
All bosses on GBA, that's something that I've always thought about doing.
Full best tier in
I think
GBA.
it would take way too long.
I think full best tier in PSX as well. Right?
All bestiary on PSX is super long.
Yeah, and you do that for every version. You have to go through the Wonder Swan Koa version.
The troll sprites, like the way they're holding their head, is pretty accurate as to what the encounters are like in this game.
Indeed.
Well, to be fair, if your head was on fire, you'd do the same thing, right?
Indeed.
Oh, rip double.
Ooh. Oh wow.
I bet
So-
Crrool would appreciate his fire getting poisoned, so he could lower his HP a little
So
bit.
that's about a 2.5 minute lead on Crrool. It's definitely can be made up. But I think it's a bit more consequential than last race.
Yeah, I think this time around is a lot more of a lead.
I mean, there's no point calling it this early. We're not even past Ice Cavern, and that can be a game changer, definitely.
Not only that,
I wouldn't be
we've still
surprised
got
to
the
see.
trip to Lufenia to go.
Yeah, I didn't over yet. And then Chaos Shrine. I could see a 2-minute shift on Chaos Shrine. I could see that. Definitely.
We have seen it.
Yeah. Yeah, one cool interesting thing about all bosses, we talk about a lot, we mention a lot, but the bosses that are actually featured in this game are pretty interesting because the extra dungeons in GBA all feature bosses from previous Final Fantasies, well, previous to the remake, that is, not
Yeah,
previous to
FF6 came out
FF1.
before FF1.
So you have the what's it called? The fire dungeon. Something that has FF4
You got
bosses.
Earthgift Shrine, which is the
FF3
FF3 bosses.
FF3 World of Darkness bosses. So Cerberus, Echidna,
I don't know anything about.
Two-Headed Dragon, and what's his name? Ahriman.
Ahriman.
And then,
FF4
you
has the
got-
Fortunes, of course.
Yeah, you have the Hellfire Chasm, which is the four fiends of FF4. So Skarmalone, Rubicante, Cognazo, and I don't know her newer name.
Barbarisha or
Valvalis.
Yeah, it was like Valvalis in SNES, but I don't know her newer version.
No, Valvalis is a new version. Her name in SNES is Barbarisha, isn't it?
No, it's
It's Barbarisha in FF1
Oh.
PSP.
It's
but
Valvalis in SNES because
Oh,
that's
is
what
it?
I knew it started with a V and I played SNES.
Right. And then FF5 has the Giltas
Like
Canto
Spring Grotto.
Supreme. So bosses that you can Giltas, as in
Which is Atomos, Gilgamesh,
Shinryu and Omega.
Omega, and Shinryu.
I'd say I think that would be the one dungeon I'd be worried about in terms of doing all bosses on GBA.
Shinryu and Omega are probably the hardest.
Anyone that has ever faced Omega and Shinryu knows why they're not liked at all.
Shinryu and Omega in the speedrun are pretty. FF5 is like extremely broken. In the speedrun, you can totally
Yeah,
break
FF5
Shinryu and
And the
Omega.
casual
Actually-
playthrough is another story.
No,
I'd real easy actually.
Well, I mean, if you don't use Kiss of Blessing, I think the speedrun strat for all bosses in FF5 uses Love Song on Omega to like stun lock him for a bit, and then I think they either kill him with the one interesting thing you can do in FF5 is that the level cap is 255 and not 99, so you can boost enemy levels and then kill them with level 5 Doom. So that's like the main strat in all bosses. Especially since you can boost levels 20 levels at
The
a time.
stream is live. This is happening right now on the planet Earth.
This is match number 3 between these two competitors, but match number 2 of the grand finals.
Yeah, they met in
Grand
winners
finals,
finals.
match
Leno
2.
lost, and Leno moved on back to grand finals. Won. So now they're at an even score, and whoever wins this wins the entire tournament. There's a lot of pressure on both these runners. Crrool
And
has
by
a
pressure we mean massive bragging rights. And by massive bragging rights we mean I won a tournament.
Yeah, Crrool has a bit of a lead at the moment, but Lana's getting a pretty good river so far, from what I can see.
That one cavern that we've been ignoring that's right next to Ice Cavern, that is the Whisperwind Cove, which is the 4th bonus dungeon of this game. And they house the oh-so-fun bosses of Final Fantasy VI.
That is to say, Phantom Train, Chupon, as well as Death Gaze, and the boss nobody could forget, of course, Ultros.
Don't tease the octopus kids.
Known as Orthos in this run, which I do not understand. Why did they change the name to Orthos?
Wasn't that the Japanese is Utoros, I think. Yeah, it's always been Utoros.
I love the accent on that.
Okay, that's lucky. Not getting... I mean, it's unlucky and then lucky. Getting a White Dragon is definitely bad to begin with, but thankfully you didn't get a bad attack there.
Yeah, it's like it's one dragon, but it's still a white dragon.
Battle wounds, battle wounds.
Any encounter with a wraith is a bad one. I don't know why, but I feel like they're the harder undeads to run from.
The reason Spectres aren't easy to run from, that's for sure.
Yeah, the added Spectre isn't really helping. We might see a parallel. Oh, no, we're not. No parallel.
Yeah, Strider's a bit stoned at the moment. I think, is he going for grinding on 3 characters?
Oh no!
No, he's going for grinding on 2, just leaving the warrior petrified, so that he doesn't get XP.
Yeah, this part is where the 2 mages will gain more experience, so that way they can learn level 5 spells. And so
wow, so I think Lenophis caught up a huge amount of time there, especially if he can get first try Thunder. No. So the way Gaze works in this fight is that he'll Gaze as an attack, then Gaze as a paralysis, and then Gaze as an instant death attack. Thankfully, he then already done the 3rd turn there, so that was too much time. Lenophis double attacking.
Double?
Yeah, this is the only part of grinding you'll see in the run. It's just so that way the mages can learn level 5 spells.
That, you were, pretty neck and neck at this point?
Indeed, indeed. I mean, Lena caught up quite a bit of time.
Again, in Ice Cavern as well.
This Ice Cavern has been quite the equalizer in a lot of these runs, as well as Chaos Shrine. Quite humbling. I don't know. I don't know whether or not it was Lenophis getting good luck or Crrool getting bad luck. Probably a mix of both. Like, once again, like, at this point, it's really difficult to claim that whoever's ahead is ahead because of skill and skill alone. You know, there's definitely not a skill, but at this point, all the top runners are neck and neck skill-wise. And the ambush on Crrool's side, he didn't save. I think he saved after the grind, possibly. Wow, that's bad. Looks like he's not going to get pro luck though. Enemies are being a bit kind. But yeah, he's definitely not running from that. Yeah, he should make it.
And he got the judgment
He's
staff
not
off as
he
well.
didn't, why didn't he reset on the ambush?
I don't think he saved. And
No, he did.
save.
I don't think he's the one to save it, to reset on ambushes though. That's a thing. Like I think I started doing earlier.
I'd do it as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know. if
Ooh.
Crrool-
I hate
Crrool's-
them. I hate Dark Wizards so much.
This is
You
serious.
see them and your heart just stops.
Yeah, for some reason, my hitbox is behind the Twitch stream now.
Yeah, you want to
Yeah.
refresh then?
Dark Wizards can they can cast Firaga, which at this point in the game is an instant death.
Oh, regardless of what your armor setup is, it's pretty much instant.
I think if you had like 3 dragon mills, you could probably survive it. But then again, you'd have to go out of your way for such rare encounters anyways.
Crrool out of the ice cavern now.
And then
No,
can't they also
about-
rub you?
Sorry?
Can't they also cast death on you?
I don't know, but yeah, possibly. Though it'd be rare to see them in more than packs of 3. Ooh, it's not looking good for Leno. Thankfully he escapes it. That could have been dangerous. Could have lost quite a bit of time if he had had a reset. And so, I know it's not getting the best escape. Pisco Demons. Had he not got that one encounter, he could have only been about 40 seconds behind. Looks like he's gonna be looking more at a minute behind, which is still like a minute and a half
Maybe
game.
even a minute and a half, like.
If he gets another encounter, no, he's a minute behind, a bit under a minute, which is like he gained a minute and a half over cooldown that segment. So if he keeps it up, man, he can take this. Like a minute, that's nothing. Like on I'd say if they're a minute difference between them going to cash rhyme would be essentially tied. So anything can happen.
Theoretically, they can be a minute apart going into chaos and
Exactly.
still.
Yeah, going to the fight itself. If it goes bad. Or even just on like a bad magical pattern versus a very good physical pattern, you know? That'll do it.
But I mean, the difference between my own PB and world record is literally chaos because we were taught. I'm like a second apart from the world record, leaving Tiamat 2, and we both got an encounter between Tiamat and chaos. So the difference was literally just chaos.
Yeah.
So it's possible.
Yeah, at this point, it's nice to see such a tight race here because if it's tight here, it's going to stay tight to a while, and either way it's going to be indistinguishable because of the different routes. So we're really not going to be able to say. We can give good rough estimates, but we're not going to have a definite answer at this point up until Chaos Shrine. Like,
Crrool is electing for the Sandworm save.
dude, I think he's playing it safe. I think since they're talking, they know each other's pace, you know. So I think Crrool thinks he can avoid the safety save there. I don't know, the thing is that you pretty much have to double a safety save. Because, like, you only have a small patch of desert that you have to walk through, really. Leno's route...
Leno's different route. Oh, sorry.
I mean, I think it's still up for debate. Like, I didn't even know he was running a different route up until today. But I don't even think it necessarily has more energy. I think it's probably a more consistent route, especially if given Ribbon earlier. Like, I think the dungeon order itself is slightly slower in terms of word map movement, but that's a couple seconds at most. The main difference and the main advantage is having haste for chaos on the ninja, which adds some consistency to the fight, especially if it goes bad. You're gonna be hasted and attacking quicker.
It not only adds consistency, but I feel like it might be slightly faster if you have a similar pattern as well.
The thing is, I don't know if you save a turn on Chaos, because if you saved a turn on Chaos, it would definitely be faster. At least that dungeon order specifically.
Crrool got preempted on the Nightmares first time
Nice.
round.
Those
Don't get
are
much better luck than that.
I think my personal opinion on the difference of routes is that the route that Leno is using is on average more consistent, whereas the route that Crrool is using is the same route that's used in any serious 80% attempt that's going after the world record, and that route is less consistent because of the RNG in this game. A lot of the route depends on getting really good RNG. So I guess on average, Lenos is probably consistently faster.
Yeah, I mean, like,
whereas with optimal RNG, the one that Crrool is using would be faster.
I mean, like, the main
with optimal RNG.
The main reason for his dungeon order differences, like for example, the black robes, that's less of a route difference and more sort of a personal choice he makes to add consistency to the run. But in terms of the dungeon order, I don't think it comes under RNG. I think it's at least as fast, the dungeon order he does with haste for chaos, because he does save a couple of attacks on chaos in the end by hasting and attacking faster. That's without a doubt. Whether or not he saves a turn, that depends on crits. I think it's possible he may be able to save a turn on chaos compared to Crrool.
Yeah, I'm adding the black robes into his route though, because he's using the black robes.
Right. Black robes
at the beginning to boost his intelligence. He has less run chances, but I mean it is more consistent.
And the ribbon,
he's able to kill it.
He gets the ribbon a bit early by taking a slight detour, which is slower, but I mean that adds safety for sure. Because you get it a bit earlier, so it's useful. Because like basically like in the dungeon where you get ribbons, there's encounters that will kill you unless you have ribbons. So having ribbons before that dungeon, even if it takes an extra 10 seconds or so to get, is worth it if you want to play safe. Yeah, I don't think his route is slower, definitely. And I think Black Robes is a very good idea for races. I mean, like, ideally, if you're really going for a ridiculous attempt, could probably try and go Golden Staffless as well as Giant's Tonicless, but that's playing a bit risky. It'd be also a shame to throw a runaway at the very end. Like Golden Staffless would save, 10 seconds maybe with the menu, especially if you don't get the chest as well. Okay.
I don't know if I would go staffless, but I have gone tonicless a couple times.
Yeah, tonic's need good HP. Well, the things that might say like 260 or so, you can probably go for it with a good conscience. But it's it's when you get magic pattern, that's when going tonicless with black mage at about like 250 is risky, because at that point you risk him dying, and 2 characters dead is pretty bad.
I've gone tonicless like sub 200 HP.
I mean, that's risky.
Lucky.
That's lucky
risky,
because at that point, any AoE
I would never
can
do
kill.
that in a race. I would absolutely never do that in a race. It was only it was a PB attempt. I think I was behind too, so I just decided to go tonicless.
I think. I got about 7. You're probably gonna make it all the way to 9, maybe even 10.
In the NES version of this game, those Horn Devils, instead of casting fire, could cast fire too. So I know that all of us here are very glad that they decided to nerf Horn Devils.
Clashing doesn't require it, but it's
which is the worst bit.
but it's faster in the end.
The benefit to class change in the 80% route is the access to teleport, which saves if it saves walking back 2 floors in Sunken Shrine, it saves having to walk out of a couple towns, and it saves having to walk all the way back out of Waterfall. Crrool went for some early Hilara, which means that he'll probably have to heal a second time.
Yeah, it's pretty rough to figure out exactly when you want to heal during gold, because if you do it too early, then you'll probably have to do it again. But if you do it too late, then you run the risk of getting attacked by an ambush or something and just totally getting wiped because of all the lava tiles you've been stepping on. So there's pros and cons to each.
Yeah, so teleport, as it's called in this version, takes you back one floor, and exit takes you out of the entire dungeon. The difference is, exit requires, it's a level 6 magic, isn't it? So it requires like level 25 or something.
Exit?
Whereas, yeah,
Exit is level 6.
Yeah, so that requires a much higher level than teleport does.
Yeah, and for whatever reason, in the NES version, the red mage can learn Warp, but not the black mage. Never got that. Yeah, and for the teleport versus exit debate, it's still not really a good idea to get exit anyway, since most of the time when we're using the spell, it's going back to the beginning of, or it would be a sunken shrine, and that's going back 2 floors rather than having to leave Onrak completely and re-enter the dungeon.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, though, you have to do that in all bosses because we don't get teleport. So in Sunken, we do exit out and then go back in because it's faster still than walking all the way back.
Plus
Provided the NPC doesn't troll you. Anyway.
The white mage is already training enough MP with Hilara, it doesn't need exit.
Crrool looked like he had a pretty decent gold.
It also looks like Crrool is just cleaning up the last little bits that Leno has already done.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to tell who's ahead until both of them head into the final dungeon. Because this game is so open-ended when it comes to exploration with the airship. They do different routes.
True.
We can give a rough estimate based off of what time they each get the Rosetta Stone. There's about a minute and a half difference because Lenophis still has to go do Mount Gog, whereas Crrool has already done it. So
that means Leno is still quite a bit ahead from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, if you're gonna base it off Rosetta Stone.
I get this feeling that I think Crrool is actually, Crrool's quite a bit further ahead than.
Has he already done? But like, Leno's already in Sunken Shrine. All he has to do afterwards is just do Mount Gold after everything else. Doesn't he? Right? Or does he still?
Well, I mean, Crrool is also is on his way to Honorak now.
Yeah, but
he's parked the airship, so he's just walking to Honorak. So it's.
Damn,
it's close.
this
Leno
floor
had an
though.
amazing second floor. Yeah.
Was that
Very
encounterless? Was that
No,
I
there
think
encounterless?
I saw.
There was one encounter, but it was a quick flee.
Was that one encounter up to Rosetta Stone?
Yep.
Did we just see that? Wow, that is amazing.
He did do a bit of a movement error with
Yeah, I don't know.
steps, but
That's
not
amazing.
gonna change.
like I'll take that.
That's
over more than one
that's a
encounter,
goal,
you
man.
know?
That has to be a goal. Too bad it's PC crash, otherwise you could have saved that split.
That's another section from Leno that would have beaten my gold as well.
And that's Crrool just entered the sunken shrine, so we'll see pretty much.
I think
Crrool's having a
Crrool can pull
wow.
ahead.
Crrool
Are we seeing the
Crrool
same
had
thing on Crrool's
one
side?
encounter.
Better
Yeah.
than you remembered to cast teleport as soon as he got the Rosetta Stone, as opposed to me walking around and being like, "Oh yeah, I can do that."
Oh, duh.
I do that every
The
time.
whole reason I got teleport.
Wow, so those were two amazing Rosetta Stone splits. That was
Oh man. Yeah, I
What-
think Leno
What?
just wasted a little bit of time there teleporting for no reason.
Whoops.
Did anyone check the times on each Rosetta Stone?
I think we're about a minute and a half apart, which means that Crrool is like tired
Yeah.
essentially.
Yep.
Wow, man, this race. It's just too close.
And here we have the classic Sahagin Prince encounter. Can't run from it.
Leno's advantage, of course, is that
He has a
If you
shorter
only-
cast time, I think.
yep, by about 6 seconds, 5 or 6 seconds.
Definitely a strategy I think is worth looking into for sure.
Yeah. It's definitely more of a guesstimate than an actual standings. And also, I think Lenophis is. Oh well, now we see Sahagins on both screens. I guess we're getting comparable luck. Comparably
So
bad.
Leno-
Crrool
just
is
got,
catching up though, undeniably he's catching up.
So Leno just got the ribbon, which it's notable that he gets it here because you can get it in the waterfall cavern, which Crrool will be going to right after this. And getting the ribbon now can allow him to kind of manipulate the equipment glitch to get it on his shield slot. So Leno would
Actually,
have that on him already, as
That-
opposed to Crrool.
that Leno's doing the menu now and Crrool's at the chest means that Crrool has pulled ahead.
Yeah, because keep in mind, guys, that even though Leno is ahead right now, he's gonna have to do Mount Golgator. It's about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. So unless he's 2 minutes ahead, he's behind. And more Sahagins. It's not good. Thankfully, he has Black Robe. I mean, that's definitely playing off. And
Lordly
it's-
robes on Black Mage.
I think that's for his Black Robe strats. I think I recall him putting on Survivor Fist for Chaos. This score is so good so far for Leno.
Yeah, because if I recall, he puts on the Lordly robes on the Black Mage as well.
I think
And then puts
Crrool's
them on.
actually pulled
and the-
ahead as well.
Indeed,
He
yeah.
puts the Black robes, or he puts the Lordly robes on, and then takes them off and replaces them with survival vests. I
Wow.
think we'd have to ask him after the race is done.
Indeed.
Gotta get those intelligence boosts.
Oh damn, one water elemental.
Yeah, I think, yeah. That was his first encounter, now he got ambushed. Yeah, the Crrool is definitely pulling ahead. Crrool is now actually physically ahead, plus the 2 minutes he's gonna gain in Mount Gold. Oof. That's not the same tile, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, now Crrool is slightly ahead, but he's 2 minutes ahead in reality, because of the route changes. So I don't know, 2 minutes ahead would still be a bit iffy going into Chaos Shrine.
Crrool is definitely ahead. On my screen, I've got Crrool defeating Kraken.
Oh yeah,
While Leno's just starting it.
that's for sure. Crrool is like more than 2 minutes ahead at this point. We're gonna need to see some luck. If Leno wants to pull ahead.
We're gonna need see some crazy RNG from both teams, well, both players for Leno to pull ahead. I think at this point.
Yeah, Crrool's already done Mount Gold, while Leno hasn't. So Crrool is at like a 2-minute advantage at this point. He pulled ahead like quite a bit and Kraken, the Kraken's foot right there.
Yeah, it was just the Kraken split that did the difference too, because they both had equal Rosetta sections.
Yeah, I'd say they were probably even at that point at Rosetta Stone. Like Crrool was about 1 minute.
If you
and a half
take
behind.
into consideration Mount Gold, I think they were even at Rosetta Stone, and then Crrool had a much better route from Rosetta Stone to Kraken.
I mean, yeah.
I'm actually
one player could lose
curious
a
if
minute and a half
Crrool
here.
golded that.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was
it seemed.
a very good segment from Crrool.
Seems
Oh,
so.
and a little ambush just to rub salt into the
Yeah,
wound.
we're gonna
for
skip this
Leno.
one.
The only slight advantage I see Leno having here is that
Ribbons,
Crrool
yeah.
still has to do the ribbon menu.
True.
But even then, that's what, 30 seconds at most?
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it pans out.
This is double elimination, so since Leno won the last race, he reset the brackets, so now we're gonna have one more race to see who wins the tournament.
So I've got bad news, guys. That was not a gold.
Oh.
His gold is 30 seconds faster than that.
What?
Amazing.
Jeez. That's crazy.
No, we skipped Eyes on Me because that gets copyrighted. So we want audio on this VOD.
What about Memories of Life?
When you forget to
Just play
memorize
You're
a lot,
Not Alone at that point instead. It's a much
Melodies
better
of
song.
Life, sorry.
we'll play Slam of Life. Or You're Not Slam.
Oh, now I have to... Done to be Chrono. What have you done?
Yeah, are you actually seeing if that exists? I'll bet you it exists.
Because it's a double elimination sandbag, because Leno won the first race, he also has to win a second race against Crrool.
Ooh, ambush for Crrool. That can be bad news. Okay, no, he's not gonna get petrified. Ugh. Hopefully,
Leno's
Leno can
gonna
run
get
away.
the
The race is
free
gonna get hit by the square. Ah, man. Thankfully, he has ribbon, so he's nothing to worry about in terms of petrification or dying. But that's still a big time loss.
Looked like he caught up quite a significant amount as well.
Indeed,
up until
indeed.
that.
Like, now
I think the ribbon menu might actually... yeah, I think they're currently neck and neck at it as it stands right now.
right.
Minus the gold.
Minus the Mount Gold.
Yeah, it's gonna come down to encounters in this split. I think Leno can probably Crrool, but so can Crrool at this point.
I think really probably the biggest opportunity that Leno has to take the lead overall is probably in this next segment.
Yeah,
I
now.
think the walk to Lufenia is going to be a massive game changer for this race, or it won't be a game changer at all.
Mirage itself control too.
I mean, this is not exactly as close as it looks because of different routes. Leno still has to do Mount Gold, which is about a minute and a half extra. So keep in mind that Crrool is actually a minute and a half ahead. So for them to be tied, Lenophis needs to actually be about a minute and a half ahead of Crrool on screen. But once they get into Chaos Shrine, where we know for sure, There's about 20 minutes left at this point, I'd say.
Given that the game doesn't mess around with anyone.
Yeah, 20 minutes left.
I like how interesting the races are between the two of them because of the different routes.
Indeed.
We kind of have to guesstimate who's in the lead. The Winterwolf ambush for Crrool though is unfortunate, but they're all physically attacking, so that's a good thing. If they all decided to ice storm, that would have been a big time waster.
In fact, if they all decided to ice storm, would that have been enough to make him rip?
No, because he has the ribbons. It probably does about 40 damage each.
Yeah, true. Each of the ribbons, though, the ribbon mitigates
That'd still
elemental.
be barely on the skin of his teeth.
Yeah, his Black Mage might not have survived.
So,
the
I
other
think
characters
Leno's pulled, let's see, he gets about a 114 flat chime time.
Then I have walks to Lithuania like that.
Chime time.
I get Minotaur zombies every 3 steps.
So I think that's what, good 30 seconds ahead he is, so it's only about a minute behind now.
And now Leno hits the 7 Winterwolf ambush.
Yeesh.
Physical attacks. No ice storms yet. Oh, and the last one. The last one gives them an ice storm.
I think
serious?
7 ice storm. No, they do 2 low damage. Not powerful.
Yeah, it was at 14 on everybody. All
At
7.
least there's no ice gigas.
Wasn't a big deal.
Bro, that's a great rock from Crrool. So wow, that was insane. And just 1 minute to his
One
zombie?
encounter,
Yep. Wow. Okay, Crrool's getting
2 encounters.
Crrool's getting an insane lock, an insane lock. Chef lock, right here.
Crrool's getting the world record style endgame.
Yeah, I don't want to call it, man, but it's a big nail right there. Cause like, Crrool was about 30 seconds behind in Lithuania. Now he may be like up to a minute ahead.
Like, from the way I'm seeing it, Crrool's already in the tower, and like, Leno's not even back to the airship yet. Or he's only just passing the lake, you know, that's...
Okay. Yeah, I'd say Crrool's 45 seconds ahead. Physically, plus the minute and a half he's gonna gain later, because of Malgog. It's looking pretty good for
I
him
think
right
we
now.
have to see some very, very poor RNG on Crrool's behalf. See Leno pull this one out at this point, I think.
Yeah.
It's gonna take some stupid RNG and chaos trying for Leno to pull out a win here, I'm afraid.
Still Final Fantasy 1, so...
Still Final Fantasy
Well,
1.
that's a good stretch from Leno so far. Let's see what encounter he
And
gets.
that was a pretty poor encounter
Hellhounds.
as well.
They are runnable.
Crrool was very close to teleporting out accidentally.
Shoutouts to me.
Oh wow, that
first
was
race.
heart-wrenching right there.
That would have been bad, especially if he was right at the
Okay,
end
so
of the
Leno's made it up actually over this floor. Nice. He's making up time. The extra encounter like 2 steps before the stairs. Hellhounds can be a pain to run from. Thankfully, Crrool managed to get away quickly. Okay, he's already.
Wyvern.
Wow, the wyvern troll.
One encounter before. Nice.
Oh, there's Evil Eye popping in to say hello. Again.
Digging the pace that they're on, though.
Nice evil line. Damn, that was a quick encounter on Cool's behalf. Nightmares. Yeah, if Leno wants to win, he needs to develop a lead here of about a minute and a half. Which it's not really happening so far. Ooh, okay, this is it's definitely a little bit ahead. Ooh, Cool's getting a good floor.
Looks like Leno's kind of jumped in the lead for me here with that evil eye encounter Crrool got.
They're both on 5F.
Okay, yeah.
Come on, Warmech. Come on, Warmech.
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 Warmech. Mech.
No encounters on the 5th floor for Leno. It's a bit of
Nice.
bleed.
Crrool saving as well, so that's given Leno a tiny little bit of advantage.
Yeah, this is the
Black
tournament.
Flam.
This is the tournament winner right here.
It looks like they both have to go into Labyrinth, Kappa.
It'll be like a plot twist, like how in Pokemon, it's like there's the champion after the Elite Four. It'll be like you have to go fight a Warmech.
What if we have a time?
Let's make that the deciding factor,
Exactly. No, I have 50
right? As
percent.
opposed to time.
15 puzzle percent.
15,
That would be the ultimate way to finish this.
15 puzzle journey. Let's go.
I bet Crrool will be a bit rusty since Leno attempted 15 puzzle in the previous run.
Exactly.
I think at this point we really need to see some terrible RNG from
Yeah, because keep in mind that Cool's going to be going straight to Cash Ran, whilst Leno has to go through Mount Gold. So even though Leno is like maybe 45 seconds ahead right now, he's going to lose about a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes, considering the trip to Elfheim. So he's about a minute and 15 behind in reality. Even more so.
It's not even that far ahead, I don't
Yeah, I think he's more like a minute and a half, maybe, or even a minute 45 behind. So Crrool's gonna need to start getting
like
better.
physically speaking.
20
This
seconds,
point,
yeah.
he's only a handful of seconds ahead. So it's
20
like-
seconds ahead physically, so he needs a good Mount Gold for sure. And then Cash Ray needs to go well for him and bad for Crrool. If you want to see,
Very bad. He needs basically
Actually-
encounterless Mount Golg along with terrible encounters for Crrool.
Actually, now that I think about it, I think the gap is actually a lot larger because I forgot to account for the cutscene in my estimate of my build.
oh right, that's like 2.5 minutes in.
That's
Yeah, the gap is pretty large.
Like at this point, we're gonna have to see a death to chaos. I think.
I don't. If
Leno
Cash
is
Ray
playing very risky as well.
this one he has to. He knows where he is.
He's taking.
It's not,
If you
yeah.
ignore the lava, he's taking the optimal path now, hoping that he doesn't get the encounters. Oh, it's paying off though. It's paying
Paid
off. I
off.
think this is going to be encounterless.
One encounter.
no, wait,
Oh no!
at the end.
Counterfist. Oh, well, we
Right at the end.
not like
Yeah,
this.
so this is the actual place now. Crrool is quite a bit ahead.
Uh-oh, the white dragon ambush has reared its ugly head.
Uh-oh.
No.
Uh-oh.
If I was Crrool, I would elect to kill them here.
Or even queue two of them to flee and two to kill.
He's trying to flee.
Oh, wow.
This is
Oh,
risky.
that's super risky.
Oh, the
That's-
I
misses
don't-
though. The misses.
Ooh.
Ah, that's rip. Feet ninja and
Oh, he
He's-
got away. Not today, white dragons. Not today.
Oh, wow. He went for the 2-character runaway. Wow. That man.
I wouldn't have done
That
that.
man
I
has a
would
pair.
not have done that. But I also think that if he hadn't done that, I reckon he wouldn't have actually survived it. To be honest, I just don't think he would have made it.
He had heart doing that. That's for sure. I'll give him that.
But I think at this point, I'm curious as to whether or not the two runners are and how well they're communicating between each other.
I
So I think at this point, Crrool should know he has a very
Sizable
a
lead.
fairly like sizable lead at the moment.
I think what,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
2.5
I would
minutes?
not be making risks like that, but
I would be playing safe.
I think he had no option at that point, to be honest.
Crrool always safety saves, like, upon entering the Chaos Shrine. I think that's why he took the risk, is because he knew he had a safety save there.
Yeah, he had a safety save like a couple steps before, so even if he had died, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal.
I'm pretty sure Crrool just like safety saves like at every step.
He safety saves a lot more often than other people do.
But he doesn't die, that's the thing, too. Like, he hasn't had to load the safety save today. Besides for Lich.
Lich?
Yeah, well.
I was gonna say. Lich, please.
Don't.
I mean, at this point, if I wanted to fix the delay, I'd have to, like, refresh my own streams, which would cause there to be, like, no stream for, like, 10 seconds. Because the problem is that the other commentators are ahead of what I'm seeing. So my commentary is on point. I don't know, I wouldn't say a minute, 2.5 minutes, though. I don't know. Well, it gets a good run. Because Crrool's not getting good luck so far. Leno's playing risky, he should. Of course.
Leno trying to flee from a 4 ice
He
dragon.
can do it, man. I mean, at this point, like, it's
There's lose.
nothing to lose. That's right.
Plus, his black mage has so much more health than Crrool's
I think
does.
he can go tonicless, like, straight up.
I think he has to be honest. Otherwise, I think
250.
Those are
289. 289 on the Black Mage is insane.
I think his ninja might need a tonic, if anything.
don't think he's even got. I don't think Crrool even has 200. Like he's got 195 on his black mage at the moment. That's
Yeah, surviving that first turn is
that's
going to be
very
interesting.
low. I think even a tonic might
Oh, the
actually.
ambush. It'll take a while.
That's a huge.
I think Crrool's gonna double tonic, which if Leno plays it risky or he gets some good HP
Crrool should double
rolls for
tonic,
his
yeah.
ninja.
Crrool needs to play as safe as possible at this point. Otherwise,
Yeah, he's not in a good position with his health at the moment.
It's honestly at this point it's Crrool's race to lose. There's no reason not to
Yeah.
play it safe for him, and he should know that at this point.
There's the loot. Still in it.
Yeah, I don't know,
That you
man.
can
I think we
totally
have to
mess
see a
with
death end
the-
chaos at this point. We're just not
It's
getting
gonna come down to
enough bad
chaos.
RNG.
I think Kraken Floor can only do so much to a run. To be honest, I don't think it will be.
It
enough
needs to do like Lenophis isn't get, Lenophis needs to be getting like very good RNG at this point. He's just not having
And
it so
he's
far.
not.
He needs to be getting much better RNG than this. Yeah, 2 minutes behind. If he gets an encounterless stretch, he can make up a minute, but... Oh, no. These floors are terrible.
He's getting some like this whole unescapable flare from Lich.
Okay, that's gonna cost 20 seconds or so.
So, fun fact about the Lich floor, in the NES speedrun of this game, what you do is you manipulate the game, use it to get an encounter with Medusas, and you have them purposely petrify your 2 red mages. And by doing that, whenever Lich casts Nuke, he's gonna only hurt the fighters and not the red mages, so you get to heal less.
Yeah, Leno could have caught up some time on this split, but he needs to be getting better RNG than this. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
he's getting some very bad RNG. At this
I'd say arguably worse than Crrool.
Chronolog?
maybe. He's not dead yet.
We're not done yet!
Ugh, man, so close to the stairs.
Red mages in the NES version. Yeah, the for the original, it's the party that you use is 2 fighters and 2 red mages.
Yeah.
Same with PSX as well.
At this point,
It's only when Chaos's health got buffed that you went with anything else.
at this point, we're gonna need to see some kind of miracle out of Lenophis, or
Some people,
catastrophe out
I
of
know
it.
back in the day, ran 2 fighters, 1 red mage, 1 white mage for a little more healing capability, but Chaos is so hard in the original that the white mage, that you needed the extra.
Has the gap
firepower.
closed a bit? Looks like they're less apart. If Lenophis doesn't get flared, he'll only be about a minute behind. So Crrool, let's see what kind of flare he gets for Kraken. It needs to be bad if he wants to make up time.
He's already doing really well at this point as well.
Yeah, at this point, it's
Like,
not gonna be bad
he's-
enough. He's
that's-
mm.
2 encounters and he's pretty much a Kraken, and neither of them are inescapables.
Yeah. At this point,
Leno
Crrool
got the
needs.
flare too.
Yeah.
Got the flare, yeah.
At this point, Crrool needs to die to chaos. He definitely needs to die to chaos if you want to be able to see a win from Leno.
Leno has to hit the metaphorical turbo button.
Indeed.
He needs to put the button to the meld.
He should have petrified his mages, man.
Alright, there's a 150 gap
Yeah,
between the two.
Crrool's Kraken floor is hard to beat. That was very good. Yeah, Crrool has been getting a better cash rank to rub into the lead even more.
That encounter on the walkout of the Kraken floor, though, that's not going to make enough difference, but it's something.
Yeah, it's something, but he's already like a boss, and
What if
more
Surge
so.
like just instantly KOs?
Yeah, he's like
Crrool's
2 bosses ahead at this point. He's saving before Tiamat. That's a first, I guess. I don't
Maybe
think
he
He
he's
doesn't
went
save before
ribbonless.
Tiamat too?
Yeah, he knows it's his to lose, so he's making the save anyway, even though he doesn't have to.
Double Thunderbolt with bad damage rolls could do it, like.
I don't know
He's
if
the
he,
one that got me to save before Tiamat too. The heck?
I haven't seen someone die before Tiamat ever since we have Ribbon.
I have, but I YOLO'd and
There's
didn't
Scorch.
heal, and that was my own fault.
Yeah,
At
if
full
you don't
health,
heal,
you shouldn't die.
then there's reason to save. But you should just heal.
I think that's already at least 2 encounters for Leno here.
Yeah, Leno's already behind counter-wise, and he's
yeah,
not even halfway
he's-
through. If he gets a water elemental, that'll seal the deal.
Scourge come back? Nope.
Oh,
We're gonna need to see
No
like
golem.
a catastrophe. Crrool needs to die.
That was a slow Tiamat though.
I think,
he needs
I
to
think-
do something like forget to ether the white mage or something like that.
well,
Please.
a quick death on Chaos
Ah,
isn't
and
gonna
there
do
we
it.
go.
No,
he needs to get like Curaja.
Curaja or like a death and furways into the fight, like something like a white mage crit on turn 4, something very bad
A
that will
first
end
turn
it.
death. A first turn death is gonna give him a chance to reload quick enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think a first turn death is going to be.
First turn death will like allow Lenophis to get to past Tiamat, but at that point, like he'll still be behind by quite a bit, and that just won't be enough. Like you need
Stupid
to
encounter for Leno.
get like a first turn death, and then have a very bad chaos.
Another
versus a
first
very
turn
good chaos.
death.
Or just like a bad
So-
chaos compared to a very good chaos. Yeah, at this point.
He's
So
not going
Crrool's-
tonicless.
Crrool's-
That's good.
Yeah, he's electing for the double tonics. There's no
Yeah.
point not to play this safe.
No,
Chaos could just go on a big magic pattern spree and just spam AoE attacks.
Alright, Blaze. He might actually kill off the black mage at this point.
Yeah, Blaze. That's some ruler.
Oh,
If he follows that up with Tsunami, that could be a problem.
that could be a significant problem.
Yeah, he's not
I
gonna
I
get
don't
healed
think
the full.
Healara will heal enough.
No, it's
I've
not.
seen him do Blaze. I've seen him do Blaze into Tsunami into Cyclone before, and that would be very, very bad for.
If he tsunamis, he's in bad
That's the
bad traits because he
relentless
won't be
one.
buffed as well.
He also hasted the. That's Blizzaga. That's not too bad. That's a good roll for Crrool.
Yeah, okay, he's back on track now. He has good health. Yeah.
There's
this point-
Tsunami.
At this point, we're gonna need something really catastrophic on Crrool's end for him to lose.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna have to crit the white mage or
something like that.
And then we've got Lenophis just going in, or just initiating the fight now.
Yeah, no. I think Crrool has it in the bag at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see him dying,
So-
really.
Survive tsunami then.
Slower as a
Courage
time waster, but not a
isn't gonna happen.
too little, too late.
Yeah, Crrool's Chaos Shrine was just great compared to Leno's, and he was already like ahead going into it, so... Leno was basically like relying on Crrool getting bad luck to be able to make it up in Chaos Shrine. That just didn't happen.
Well, oh, the slower didn't connect.
Nice.
I think that's the nail in the coffin for Leno.
And Leno stream... Okay, Leno had to reset.
Cyclone, but
Leno had to reset, yeah, it's done.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's only a couple of hits away from.
Yeah, that's a nail in the coffin.
Yeah, no. It's done.
Wait, why did he reset?
Probably got an early first death.
I think he forgot to close. Probably
There
what
we
happened.
go. That's it.
Because I didn't see an attack go off from Chaos.
I saw Ninja was hasted, and I was like, what?
Nice. GG to Crrool. Pulled through. He stayed ahead for most of that race, basically.
Yeah, it was a very good race.
Very solid play on both of these guys' behalf. Yeah. That reset really costs him too much time. Like when you're relying on your opponent to have bad RNG, you're already in a bad position.
Yeah, so the reset from Leno was because he forgot the staff.
Damn.
I figured he forgot something because I didn't see Chaos's AoE go off.
Yeah, it would have been.
Oof, yeah, this is...
What were their times in the first race, or in the previous race?
I don't remember exactly. The best time was like 1:20:30 by Crrool. He PB'd during the race, the tournament. Okay. If I could split. Okay. GG Leno.
Right.
All right.
So. The fantastic tournament.
Indeed, indeed.
G boys. And of course, congratulations to the winner of the FF1 PSP Total Chaos tournament.
Congratulations, Crrool. Job
Thank you.
very well done, sir.
That second half was not Shrine Crrool. That's what did it, I think. And that and your walk from Lufenia was just insane.
Yeah.
The
walk
the
back
entire
was
sunken shrine in general, not even that area specifically. I golded Rosetta Stone with only one encounter and it being a preemptive,
Yeah, I mean, so did Lenophis.
Between Merilith and Kraken, I saved well over 2 minutes on PB.
Wow.
That was a really good segment for me. That's definitely made a huge impact there.
Yeah, Leno had the same RNG on the Rosetta segment, but the second half of Sunken, we were estimating you were about even, judging with the route change added in. You were about even, and then you were both like neck and neck at Kraken, minus the extra time Leno had to go into Gulg. So that's like a minute and a half caught up just on the second half of Sunken.
Yeah, that was quite the area. Like it seemed pretty tight for the majority of the run. Early on, having fallen behind a bit early on, but then making it up like that was quite the run.
That was a fan. I think that was probably the best, as far as I'm concerned. That was probably the best set of matches that could have happened in the finals. I think that was probably one of the best. These matches have been fantastic today.
Yeah, this whole day has been great.
Yeah, and we had an unfortunate first match for Lenophis with the death, but all of the other matches have been really, really good.
They were all
both
really
my
close.
second match with Leno, as well as the match against Pigman, ending so close to each other, seconds apart, and then the final match being a match like that. That was insane.
Oh.
I still can't believe I won.
You earned it,
I was
sir.
kind of pretty upset.
The next one.
Let's get the.
I mean, basically,
The next one.
anyone that
I don't think there are any tournaments in the works for the Final Fantasy series. The next big event for Final Fantasy, I'm guessing, is probably the relay race, or will happen in June.
I mean, if you guys want to follow a race, there is a Chrono Trigger tournament currently ongoing. I mean, signups are closed and it's well on its way, but that's also a thing to keep out for.
When is the Final Fantasy relay?
June 17th to
Now
20th.
let me take over here, boys, because this is my territory, I'm afraid.
Yep.
Final Fantasy Relay Race Round 2 is happening June 17th to June 20th. It's going to be fantastic. It's being run by myself, Seraph, Seven Sins, and Maelstrom. And we have a very large number of very good runners participating. Last year we only did the canon games, so 1 through 13 minus 11. But this year we're also including a couple of other games as well into the mix. We're including Tactics, Mystic Quest, and then we're including 10-2 and 13-2 and Lightning Returns 13-3. So it's going to be a fantastic event. So
No,
if you're looking
years.
forward
Come
to
on,
that,
bro.
it's going to be coming up in June 17th to June 20th. And
It's also in the stream bio.
It's also in the stream bio. It's going to be hosted right here on RPG Limit Break, so keep an eye out. I'll post a link. There's got to be a link that I can post, but I don't think we have a generic information link, though. It's still like the signups, I think.
Yeah.
There's one about the. There's one about the signups, like a pastebin about what the tournament is about and how to sign up, but. Yeah, essentially this was just an 80% tournament. A smaller tournament than some of the others that have been hosted here, like the FF4, the FF6 tournament, which had, I think FF6 had 100 entrants or so. This tournament only had about 24 or so. So definitely on a smaller scale, which allowed us to have, I'd say, definitely a truer test of ability, since we had a double elimination bracket, which allowed for interesting combinations and a lot more matches. Which is why we streamed 5 matches today,
So,
So Crrool, when are you gonna learn FF1 NES and take over that?
when is everyone gonna learn FF1
I have
PSX,
actually looked into that route, and I've decided that I'm never gonna run it.
NES is definitely the kind of thing that I see Chrono running, though, to be fair.
I do it
loves
with
games
RNG
with
Minip.
step counts.
I do it with RNG Minip. That's for sure. I love games where I can do the same thing every time. It's the one I like.
Well, there's step manipulation, so the only type of RNG in it is just damage rolls.
You just play fair and perfect. Easy. Easy peasy. I mean, do a lot of grinding the world maps. You could potentially save and hard reset. Play fair and perfectly. Easy.
So, who is gonna be the first one of you lot to run PSX? Because at the moment, I have a very poor time in that game, and I would like some motivation,
guys.
Motification.
motivation to actually get good at it.
Well, you still have my segmented time looking at you at 3:07.
I do
final
need to
save.
work on it. I do need to work on it.
I mean, I suppose I could start to RTA the game, but that's just going to be painful and more painful, and it's painful.
So to close up, at least in terms of this, we did still have that thing about a potential all bosses race. Now I know that I don't have time to do that today, but
I think
would
that's
yeah. But the question is, would one of you guys be interested to, as a bit of an after party, do one tomorrow? It'll still be a day. We can't do that right now because I really need sleep. But
first thing tomorrow. I'd think about it. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I'd consider it.
I would, but I have work in 22 hours, and unless we start really, really early, I don't think I'll be able to make it.
We'll leave it as a potential at least.
But for
Not all
now,
bosses.
though,
now-
until I think we need to throw one of our fellow Final Fantasy 1 runners. I'd say a quick hello, but
Yeah,
it's going to be
A nice
Yeah,
long
but-
raid would be nice.
Yeah, before anything else, if I may, I want to do a couple quick shout-outs. First of all, obviously to RPG Limit Break again for being generous enough to host it on this channel. To a quick shout-out to Double Drop, Rory Extra Life, and Chrono Kirby for helping me organize something like this, and especially Chrono for restreaming the entire thing today. It has been quite the journey, and I want to thank you guys all for that. Shout out to Lenophis for being an amazing contestant in these last couple of rounds, and without any doubt, also all of the people in chat for whom without it probably wouldn't have been as much fun to do these last couple races.
I want to give a shout out to everyone that joined the tournament. You guys
Massive shout
did
out.
a lot to. Yeah, you guys did a lot to not only help us just be better runners, but you helped drive a lot of motivation for everyone involved with it. So massive shout outs to everyone who was involved for this tournament.
Indeed.
I'm so worried right now because, I'm so worried about what we're gonna do because Leo is currently doing Ice Cavern right now, and he's just so
This is the best time. This is the best time to go raid him.
right. Okay,
That's,
sure. Okay, I've got it. I've got it
it's gotta
ready.
be
Just tell me when,
notification
and I'll hit enter.
Okay, so
The message.
We need to
the
come up with
message?
a raid
What's the
message
message?
as well.
Notification.
yeah, we need quite the rate message. Let's see.
Shall we say notification?
Yes.
FF1 is too cruel. That's good. That's good, Chrono.
Yeah, that'll do.
That'll do.
FF1
Okay.
is too cruel.
Right.
Everybody join in on this raid, and thanks again, everybody, for being around during this amazing event. And yeah, Rory,
Here we go.
whenever you're ready.
Here we go. This is going to be amazing. There we go.